Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You join us this evening for a fantastic matchup between the T1 gunners that are TT9 going up against the T4 Team 82. Granted, Team 82 won't be able to make it through to the playoff stage, through to the quarterfinals. There is still a lot of pride to play for in this game, isn't there, Aria?
Yeah, 100%. You know, if you take down the Titans of, TT9, that's a major achievement. And, your T4 team that's able to wipe out TT9, that's something you'll keep close to your heart, 100%.
Exactly, as you say, it's something which... So there is still a lot to play for in this one. TT9, if they secure a win in regulation, they will be qualifying through top of the group as well. So I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of trolling in this one. But as we know, Siege isn't a game played on paper, so anything could happen in this game, couldn't it?
Of course, 100%. Siege is just one of those unpredictable games where pretty much anything can happen. Their teams can have off days, and you can have teams that are absolutely hitting every single shot they land. So, it can go every way. It's 50-50.
And I mean, yeah, I'd love an upset. I always love an underdog. Yeah, I'd love to see an underdog performance. I'll have a bet with everyone in here. I'll cast as a new area that if Team 82 win, then I will do anything you want me to do. So there we go. How does that sound?
That's quite the bet. That's quite the bet, Tom. You really sure you want to go for that?
Yeah, we're going for it. We're going for it. I'm putting my head on the line.
We're
full sending it. But yeah, as we said, it's going to be a banger of a game. This is my first time hosting it, and I started off my casting career with Talent League, so it's wonderful to be back here. I haven't quite made it through to the casting because we've got some wonderful duo lined up to join us with the casting as well. And also we've got our wonderful analyst, Aria, as well. Just a little words like, hey guys.
I'm here, don't forget.
Yeah. And I believe we do have all the players in the lobby as well, if I'm not mistaken. Not yet, so we're just going to have to chill with us for a little bit. But we do also have our casters who can come and join us for a chat as well, I believe. And here they are, look at them. Look how beautiful they are. Well, Gibson, stunning whippet. You're average, but yeah, we love you. No,
our best, Tommy.
But Whippet and Gibson, looking forward to this one. Is this going to be the one-sided affair that everyone expects, or are we seeing a little bit of resistance coming out of Team 82 in this one?
Look, I think that it is probably going to be a really one-sided game. It's a map that I'm actually looking forward to be honest. The last time Whippet and I casted was probably like Siege was like 3-4 months ago at this point, so it's good to be back. Look, this is TT9, so anything is possible, I suppose would be the best way to put it, but they are a side that they're rebuilding, they made some changes. This is kind of their practice as they get ready for Stage 2 to try to, build up what was a pretty poor Stage 1 by the standards of the roster that they had. So for me, you gotta get your practice right, and for them, this is what that's all about.
Yeah, I mean, a practice with stakes. I mean, you got to think about this. It's an emulation of an official game. You go into scrims, and sometimes players can have that scrim mentality, which doesn't translate into an official matchup. This is a better emulation of that official setting, and I think that's a good way to look at it from at least the perspective aspect for what TT9 will be coming into this one. And I think they've made some changes to what we saw inside of Stage 1 of the UL. And I think I dare to say, I think this team has a lot of room to grow, and I think they've made some net upgrades, and we'll start seeing them, I think, develop into a good vision or have a good platform to launch themselves in. They've got a long season, they have Central that they can compete in as well, they've got other off-season competitions as well where they can continue to build that brand, so there's still some room for TT9.
Yeah, 100%. And actually, I talked to the realist Russian, and they were basically describing to me how they're going to go into these games in Talent League. Talent League, it's T4 scene, so it's exactly not the most competitive as it could be, exactly. But they were saying that they want to just kind of build the roster up for Stage 2, as you mentioned, and get the team as good as they can, just so they can power on through.
Perfect. Well, I mean, as you said, you mentioned it. You spoke to the realist Russian, and it's something about it's sort of like ironing out those sort of kinks in the armor, isn't it? They want to get this team drilled and ready for the upcoming Stage 2. And I believe we are ready to go into the game. So we will be handing it over to the wonderful Gibson and Whippet. It's been a break for you guys from Siege, but it's wonderful to have you boys back and seeing your beautiful faces on our screen. I'm excited to hear all these plays run by you two as well. So crack on with it, lads, and enjoy.
Thank you, Tom. And Whippet, how much of a pleasure is to get thrown to by the one-time major desk player, Tom J. Sherlock? But speaking of the big times, we're going to throw into game number, the final game of the night, if I'm not wrong, Whippet. TT9 taking on Team 82 on a map that I have actually missed, Whippet.
Gibby, are you spoiling us for that one a little bit? You know what? I'll wait. I'll give them a little bit longer until they get to see that one. We've left it as a surprise. We've not shown you the video because we're ready for a little bit of excitement. But Gibby, I mean, we talked about this. This is, let's be fair, on paper, while Siege is playing the server, there's certainly some points to bring up, and it's the fact that it's a tier 4 team versus tier 1. While it was a floundering stage 1 for TT9, not the results they would have wanted, they're still going to have that experience. I mean, look at the roster they bring out, and well, the teaser is out. Gibby, you've not had the honor of a tier 4 league cast of Oregon, so you get to kind of break the ice on that one. How do you feel about that one? I've missed this map. I've missed Siege.
I'm being honest, because this map barely existed inside of Brazil for the games we cast, that I'm so pumped to get back to Oregon. TT9 and Team 82. TT9, of course, having made a couple of changes since the last time you and I got to see them, and staying true to form to the bans that we saw on Stage 1, Ying is going to be removed straight off the bat because of how powerful she can be on Execute, especially here on Oregon.
I mean, listen, the amount of times that you see a Ying create that space in that pocket, now, I'm definitely not stealing from the X10 start coach here when I say Capital has filled that void for lots of teams, for especially that bottom floor execution here on a map like Oregon, so expect TT9 to be able to bring that out when we go into this one. Dokkaebi banned out by 82, and I'm not too shocked about that one. A huge impact in that, a huge impact, a global character, a massive one, and you know what, Gibbs? You know, it's a little bit more relaxed. We can kind of... Oh, Fenrir's been banned. I like that one a lot. Very powerful operator. I'll touch on that for a brief moment as I go. We can relax a little bit. And Tom J. Sherlock has asked me, and asked actually us, to reinforce Noah being Tom's adopted son. So, will he be able to impress his father with a good, strong performance here tonight in Oregon?
Well, his father has got a kill on the main stage on a final Sunday. Noah hasn't actually had the chance to do that yet, so he's got a lot to live up to. But I think you and I both agree. Noah's a player who didn't necessarily show people how good he really was in Stage 1. He is absolutely nuts. And I have a feeling with this new roster they've put together, Sloth coming in, Kanto, of course, played in Stage 1, King Kenny, and Azur. This is a team that I can't wait to see. And don't believe what you see on your screen. It's not Azur.10star. It's Azur.TT9 tonight.
Azur, isn't he .loan from 10star at the minute? Would that not be...
.borrowed. Azur.borrowed.
He's been stolen! Give him back to Kenny. Let Kenny continue to cook with that one. But the basement defense we go here on Oregon. And this is basically, well, already I'm saying this. The addition of the Solace means that Kendrew's job is going to be hunting down the drones and choking out key information. This is going to be a massive kind of problem as he'll check the key areas like the cutoff drone that you see by that white bucket. There's also a cutoff camera that you can use inside of a dining room to get a good angle to kind of contest that western side. Nux drone gets caught out and the Solace removes one, but that will be a factor to keep your eye on later on. Azur has brought out the Capcan. Could be a feature of this, and Kanto was setting a rotation inside of top attic to give an extra bit of movement available for any potential roam they might be daring enough to do.
Yeah, looking to secure that whole section of the map in and around kitchen just to ensure that you can freely rotate in between the two sets of stairs and back stairs. And it also means that if the defenders want to push, or the attackers want to push your way, they have to give you really big audio cues, opening up those doors from small towers.
Who made that rotate, Gibby? Who made that rotate? Who made it?
Probably
Was
me.
it good enough?
Probably me.
Well, you know, honestly, that would be enough to get you up on the fraud watch. Sloth will try to take a fight down towards west window at the Nook, who just toys with the idea but does fall back a little bit and not risk it. Kendrick finds the opening. Replay will fall to the SMG-11 wielded by the Solace. Lurking up inside a small tower, knew they would clear without having that drone pressure, as the Solace allows you to do that. Eddie Demon has got himself inside of armor, and the C4 detonated to a missed call. Noah's utility goes to a bit of a waste. Could have actually been that of Sloth. I think it was Sloth's one, but Eddie Demon still takes some damage as that aggression towards and getting control upstairs begins to waver.
Again, though, Team 82, they're trying to clear this map section by section, and against a Tier 1 team like TT9, it's not really going to work. Azure goes for the hopeful spray, trying to catch someone out over by main stairs, but nobody found this time around, so Azure will rotate his way back down towards site, with Sloth now taking up the mantle of that primary roamer inside of Classroom. Now, you look at the fact 2 players are pushing in from Gary's side. You've got Robbie and you've got Kiz, and I'm sure one of them will be swung pretty soon. Kendrew still holding top floor again, but 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, and this really slow push is just not working, and I feel Sloth is going to get another one.
He'll take an eye for free. He'll waltz around and get a set going on the Kiz, and that's going to be out of a problem now. Sloth, the patience, the blade strikes, it never loses reception. With 1 minute left to work with, you just got to feel that TT9 will ride this one out. Kendrew still undetected. Azure as well, a threat with all the traps laying around. Solace gets detected. Well, it's not going to be a landing shot. The FMV can be a little bit unreal. The shotgun in the back pocket. Solace gives that mobility, that ability to rotate around. Vertically open up as well. And, well, Robbie's going to try and take that peek again. Does win it against Kendrick. The trade is instantaneous. Kanto lurks inside of Split and finds it. 35 seconds just with change. And with a 3v1 and Ash alone, pretty safe to say this round is going to go in favor of the favorites of TT9.
Yeah, Shalom now just trying to push in through meeting 3 versus 1. Not really a scenario you want to get yourself in, but he may be about to gift a freebie. Kanto is waiting, biding his time. Shalom holding that corner, pushing in through maps. Kanto will hear the footsteps. Shalom makes a bit of noise, and there's the little dance, and well, Kanto went for the drop shot. He tried the same motto, but he got shalomed, and he's going to push into the kitchen. The round is over. TT9 take round 1.
I have not just heard you say that, Gibby. I have not just... Motto. Oh, replay for that one as well. Sloth, 6-inch blades, don't lose reception. C4 does, but he gets a second one confirmed to that one. And TT9, a spread out roam. They basically played with an idea of a mass 4-player roam, intention of a retake with lots of rotations available for them. And Team 82, they struggled with information, able to get in and take that and find a way into that. So the basement goes in favor of TT9, and they'll rotate up to the upstairs site. This does tend to be a little bit more of a 50-50. Doesn't have as strong of a win percentage for the defense, or as conclusive as a win percentage for the defense in particular. So there's an opening here for D2 to get in, but I'd imagine once again we'll see a lot of pressure applied. And well, TT9, they brought the information blockers. The information deniers is called the vision blockers. Now, this is a brand new season, a brand new gadget's being brought out. These are some of the most impactful secondary gadgets we have ever seen in the game. Don't know why, Gibby.
Do tell?
Oh, you're a bit slow on that one. Come on, speed up the responses, sir.
No, I wanted to create some tension, you know, make you think that you're alone.
Oh, well, I'm in a room trapped in your basement, but, you know, I'll ask we move from
Look,
there.
you got food, you got water, and sometimes you get sunlight. It's fine.
Oh, when did you don't give me water, you give me nondescript energy drink. Other brands are available.
Sugar-free, by the way, because, you know, you gotta stay healthy.
Okay, tangent aside, it forces teams to drone more of it invasively and risks losing that information and makes it way more difficult. When you see an observation blocker, you now have to commit way more to it. Kanto looks to have been aggressive, and Dear Robbie's got the opening pick. Kendrew finds that trade-off, and it was all the way towards the west side of Small Tower. Kendrew pops out of T1 to find one of his own, and we get ourselves back to a 4 versus 4 split. We do lose to Malusi. We lost the Nomad in the process as well.
Yeah, and again, if you look at the way TT9 are playing, they're heavily focused on roaming around the map. You look in towards site, you've got 2 players, 1 in the attic if you include Sloth, and you're inviting a direct push, but the problem is, Team 82, they're trying to again clear the map. Kendrew steps outside, misses the opportunity to take down Robbie. Robbie? We need to find that out later, but he's going to peek through that angle up towards the window again. But the issue is, you're playing right into the hands of TT9. They want you to play this way. So what you want to do is try for a more direct push.
Yeah, I mean, this is the, let's say, the formative days of this new meta that might apply. Replay is going to be able to find two. Sloth and Azure fall. Kiz gets caught out by that. Noah's going to be, Noah has a good opportunity here. SMG 12 in hand. It's a little bit unruly. Can be a bit windy in certain people's hands. Gibby, I'm looking at you for that one. But Noah, certainly more talented than either of us could be in a server, and looks away just at the wrong moment. Can he find one? Deep towards army here. The player drops prone, finds some damage to his shoulder, but knows a threat will arrive from the open breach inside of walk-in. A player close, creeping and crawling, but that Banshee might wail the perfect moment. Doesn't detonate enough to save him. Shalom finds him, and now it's left down the Kendra in a 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2. Finds the head of Dear Robbie, and now every single second counts. Lots of time to work with and drone him out, but will they feel the pressure? Shalom on low HP, Kendra on just above half as well. Slow rate of fire SMG, doesn't pack necessarily all the punch you might want, but every second they waste could be key, and that drone's definitely spotted him out.
Yeah, so he's forced to reposition himself as they look to make this 2v1 work. Now remember, in this situation, you want to beat the 1 versus 1, but Kendrew gets it, and now Replay is forced to try to win this 1v1 versus Kenny. Pre-fires round the corner, but Kenny steps up, and Kenny gets the kill. They actually trade it out, but the defenders win the round. But there was no real attempt there from Team 82 to play the trade, to play off each other. They tried to stick the execute, when in reality, with the positions they were, they would have been much better to just try to force the kill to get the round win.
In that position, if you go and get the case down, it's a 1 versus 1. Look at that position. Now, the cover isn't going to be great. They don't know where Kendrew is. Whether he had drones in pocket or not, I might have missed it. But then, play together. Play the kill. Hunt that. You should call that. But Kendrew played that perfectly. You got to think about how he ducked between cover, took his fights one by one. Perfect from him in that one, and Kanto was curious about the HP he left lying on from the previous run that we saw. We saw that HP dropping down rapidly, left on a single point. Frustrating one for Kanto to see that one in chat, of course.
Yeah, but look, again, it's a round win, so you gotta just take the positives when they're there. Team 82, they did a lot of good things in that round. They got themselves in that 3v1. They were in a position where they were able to take a round on attack. But then everything slowed down, and I think that's where experience comes into it. A more experienced side then would have known, you know, there's 40-50 seconds on the clock. It's a 3 versus 1. We have an idea that the player has to realistically push up from white stairs because that's where they were running out from earlier on in the round. You gotta maybe use your drones. Try to get that little bit more intel. But they panicked a little bit. They let the round get away from them. So, round 3 begins, 2-0 to TT9 on defense as we go to that tertiary site, which will be meeting and kitchen. And again, Whippet, it's really personal preference for sides at the moment, which of those tertiary sites you like most.
You see it vary between side to side, between region to region. We've seen it go in mostly inside of Europe. A lot of teams like to bring that meeting. The big tower defense can be very effective. And the issue right now, and what 82 need to remember for this one, is the fact that TT are going to play very aggressive. They're going to peak stuff, and you need to find a way to deal with it. Kendrew finds one to Robbie, and an aggressive push up those stairs. The best way to do this is try and go for that direct line of access. A difficult position to do it from that window rappel, but we've seen especially players like Replay, and I believe it was Salam in the previous round, was able to have a huge impact mechanically with their rifle. They can find an opening. They might be able to make TT9 pay for some overzealous swings, and an army of drones sent towards Kendrew identify this threat lurking by the door, but Kiz gets one to Sloth, and that draws us level 4 versus 4.
Yeah, and then Kendrew, noticing that that's happened, has just rotated his way back down those stairs. Kiz still waiting for the angle. Replay gets another kill, though, as Azure will fall. And that's attic control garnered. Now, top floor will look to be retaken. Kendrew gets one, but they drop the send the Iana clone down into sight to work out what is going on inside of meeting. Shalom still playing by the door, but Noah is pretty close by with the SMG-11 in hand. Again, they got vertical control established, but they've slowed down the attack and they've allowed TT9 to begin getting presence inside attic once more. Kanto, just by retaking attic, even with the fact that the shield is in position, will be a problem for Team 82.
Just his presence right now forces them into that dilemma. You have to now clear this, so there's no easy outcome. You push him, you put yourself in a single 1v1 gunfight, which can be a 50-50, and you use utility, that will take time. So, he's created a wonderful dilemma, not a problem. So many different ways to solve it, and this forces him to reconsider how this execution will unravel. He's got a vertical angle looking towards door as well, and no one's pushing him. He's pushed all the way deep upside of that breach, and with 35 seconds remaining, Gibby, it's going to be a problem. Replay's going to find that trade on the Kendra. Noah's going to get one on the kids, but that's going to be the defuse. The case goes cold, and now they're forced to try and scrap and brawl with Verticality still in control, but they're playing the bomb chassis. Noah with one magazine finds two. Simple as you like. Absolute beauty there. Precision from Noah around the bomb chassis. Gets the third round for TT9 and a flawless rotation. And well, we said, would he impress his adopted father, Tom J. Sherlock? I think he certainly has.
I just looked in the chat and he's actually said that he's doing daddy proud. That's exactly Tom's words on that. But again, this is what we expect from Noah Whippet. Again, we spoke about it. We said stage one that he had a lot of potential, but maybe the right team wasn't around him. You look at the team now, so much experience, they can really elevate him to the next level. And I don't know what it is about the Nordic Whippet, but they just develop some incredibly good fraggers.
Listen, if you want to win, you pick up a Finn or a Swede nowadays, or a Dane. Anywhere from Nordic, to be honest.
Anywhere that's not Ireland, really, is what we're saying. We have one good player. One good player, his name's Curly, and that's it.
Oh, we got Gibson Gaming too.
Yeah, because
I'm formerly known as Uplay as Morbin Time.
Because I'm the fourth best player in Ireland at Bronze 3.
Oh, don't put yourself down. You managed to make at least gold last season.
It was a grind, though. I needed all.
And you have the most passionate rank stacks at your fingertips as well, and you don't even use them.
I know. Look, that's because anytime I make a mistake in that stack, Pengu brings out the whiteboard on stream, so I'm done. It's like, no. He brings out the whiteboard.
It happened to you once, you live in constant fear now.
Look, if you ever make it onto Pengu's whiteboard, you've done something really bad, okay?
Or really good. Or really good. Most of the time, you've made an absolute blunder and you've trolled the Elo. Which is your example, of course.
Yeah.
We
we won the viewers' hearts, though. That's all that matters. So, round 4 underway. We're already 40 seconds inside as they look to attack towards basement again. The one thing that I said that Team 82 had a real problem with the last time they played the site was they extended themselves too far. They tried to take full control of the map when really a more direct push to site would have been a lot more beneficial. Now Kendrew gets himself in position, realizes that a cross is being held, but he's going to peek that anyway as that goo mine goes off and he falls back. But Azur is still in position as it looks like they're going to begin going down backstairs. Noah will be able to peek from highway. You've still got Sloth playing in the distance as well, but Noah has a big potential 1v1. Shalom takes down Kanto again, but not for the first time, but replay will be put into DBNO. Over by the entry of barrels. Replay down. They'll be forced now to go get that res, but whip it again. It's just very slow from Team 82.
Well, that's going to be Slump finds the second one now. Azur in a huge position now. Might go swing and get one. Maybe look for a second. Doesn't know the player's close to breach. Spots them now. Ducks and dives, but gets caught out eventually. Robbie finds that one. Advantage now sits with 82. 4 versus 2. Just a minute and change to work with. Kendrew cautious of barrels, but he gets caught out through the wall. Now it's all down the Sloth. He's got I would never lose in his name. Will he prove that one right? Well, he's going to start off well. Gets one. Eddie the Demon's next to fall. Now only 3 more to find for Sloth to be able to get a 4k clutch. The breach instead of elbows remains, but he's going to get caught. Dear Robbie gets it, and that's going to be 82 getting themselves their very first round in this one. And to their credit, on one of the most difficult maps to break down, or one of the most difficult sites to break down in Oregon, that basement.
Mm-hmm. And again, it was a more structured push. You know, their whole idea was to take control of tower, work your way through meeting, and work down backstairs. And they did it really well. It's much better than spreading all of your assets around the whole map, not being able to play the trade game, not being able to take map control. Really impressed by how Team 82 played that round in the end. I did say it was slow, but it was effective. Speaking of players that have been pretty effective, Shalom and Replay on the side of Team 82, 5 kills apiece in the early stages. And when you look at it that way, apart from Kendrew, they're playing probably the best players in gunfights so far on the server.
Yeah, I mean, Kendrew leading the charge in terms of frags for TT9. Not a common sight, but tip of the hat.
I think you told me once your favourite ever moment in Siege history was Kendrew taking off his glasses.
I don't know. I can't remember what game of EU was. He just takes off his glasses during a timeout in. I don't know what the mindset would have been back in the days of Navi in our space. do you want another little bit of Kendrew lore I've got for you?
Everyone wants Kendrew lore.
Well, it's not even Kendrew lore. So during the Token Army Pro League finals, me and my friends are watching along in Discord, and we had a rule: every time Kendrew appears on a VT, you take a small drink of a distilled liquid. He managed to show up 68 times in one day.
What a day that was for the parish.
Gibby, you're getting more Irish on me. More Irish.
So, well, look, there's 3 of us on the broadcast. You've got me, you, and Arya. Like, there's a lot of us.
It was rare enough to have just us two. We've got a third Irish person now. Slowly we're taking over the UK region. We're earning that I in the former UKIN. and we just Tom J. Sherlock has a Guinness tattoo. That counts.
Tom, are you Irish? Let us know in chat. And Jerry the Music Man claims from time to time to be Irish as well.
So what we're doing is we're just we're taking them all. Every member of talent is Irish. Who are we claiming next?
Have you any Irish lineage at all? Yep, you're on the team.
Can we take Fresh? Can we claim
why
him?
not?
Do you know what? We'll take Fresh. Who else? Tim's from the north of England. That's basically Irish. We'll grab him.
Yeah.
Who else are we grabbing? As we see our first couple of gunfights, at least get toyed with the idea. Kendrew lurking top freezer stairs. A good crossfire set up with his teammate Azur as well. Drone will spot one, not the other. Azur is tucked deep. I don't think the drone even saw Kendrew. Certainly might see Azur now, but he is tucked deep inside that now. Call to action as they feel the threats arriving. Smoke cans are tossed out. Azur gets the first one. The Robbie pistol out in hand. They'll be able to find one more. And the Shalom, and they fall back to site now. And a 5 versus 3 sub 1 minute to work with. But Replay will get Noah and trade one back at least.
Yeah, Replay manages to get one, but Eddie the Demon took a lot of damage from the Toxic Babe as well, meaning that they're trying to lock down Freezer, and there's a shotgun at the ready as well, so Replay needs to be careful. Another Toxic Babe thrown delays it even more, so Kiz, with the case, elects now to push down through Laundry. Gives away the position with the gunshot, so again, TT9 will be very aware of this push. The flash grenade's going to be a bit of friendly fire as well, but stepping on through, Kiz finds Sloth through the soft wall and manages to create an opening for the rest of the players, but there's that shotgun we spoke about. Trade it back the other way. So in effect it is a 2 versus 1, but it should be a 3v1 as the res will come off. Kanto in position. Kanto gets his one. Swings around, gets another one. He's got one more to get. Oh, Kanto Raket. He sings the crowd as he pulls that one back once more for the boys, the people at the back.
Up the Siege, up the Kanto, up the Berlin Major Champion. 3k to save the round and get TT9 to that 4-1 advantage. What a performance from him. And you gotta feel though, 86 on a lot of stuff right to begin to claw that round back. The double stack pushed down Freezer stairs, knowing they'll likely deal with a shotgun up close. But a nice replay, I'm sure, of Kanto's miraculous recovery is there. Grabs one on Freezer, grabs one more deep, and looks at a perfect headshot on Daddy Demon. They claim that round. Huge 3k for Kanto. Proves its worth to that team. And we'll move 4-1 advantage upstairs to the kids' dorms as we go once again. Gibby. What group, what row of attendees at the major created the Okanto Roketi champ? Who would that have been?
Maybe it was me. You know, it was me and you.
It was the row 9 ultras as we refer to ourselves.
We have been overtaken though by the Tom row. They bring different levels of passion.
That is true. No one can beat the Tom J. Sherlock crowd.
Shout out to Tom J. Sherlock. You might see him tonight if you keep watching the stream. Noah will create those rotates for the side. This game currently sitting at 4 rounds to 1 to TT9, but in reality this could easily be 2 rounds apiece when you consider the fact that TT9 have now won 2 1 versus 3. So as we move into this round, Kanto will go for this spawn peak, but nobody is going to deliver themselves up on top of that balcony by Small Tower. So he'll dip back into some cover and try to find an engagement elsewhere. Well, but you can see though that those intel deniers are being used now instead of mute. And how do you feel about being able to bring that instead of mute in this site in particular?
I think it opens up a lot of variety. It would be the thing about it, it's a different dynamic, right? Because a single bullet deals with it, and they can be placed around cover, but you can just walk through them. But it forces your drone to be so invasive and get so much control, and it makes it difficult. I believe on the opening day of the broadcast, the opening day of the season, there was a stream, and TT9 played this map as well. And they played a lot of information denial, a lot of mutant play, a lot of those observation blockers, and it was a real problem to break that down and start figuring out how exactly you can get the information. You see there, it's not in the middle of the doorway. Like, all the promotional footage of them being deployed is because they have such a long kind of stretch, you don't need it. But an EMP sent out, catches it, mutes it for the breach moment, they can get that extra bit of information if they need so. But they've got a lot of control, trophies now open, but Kendrew fights that pixel angle deep and now has time with that keeper barrier in place to reinforce it off. And back to square one at this point, no breach opened up and they need to fight for that control.
Yes, Sloth is going to go prone and wait for the perfect time to take the shins away, but with that Kiba barrier being removed, he has to fall back. Kendrew now is going to play aggressive with the breach, and I love it when a player does that, especially for the first part of the breach, as you can catch those attackers by surprise. But still, a minute left to go. That Kiba barrier will have to be dealt with if you want to push in, so Kanto will spend his time and wait. Sloth will get removed, though. Shalom is able to peek him, and now in a 5 versus 4, Team 82 can get to work. Send that clone in now to work out where the rest of those defenders are. Kanto just creeping his way up closer to the door, getting ready for the engagement. The MP will get rid of his red sight. They're inside of Attic, and Replay gets one, and now he pushes into sight. Kendrew is able there to get the trade. It's 2v3, double kill for Shalom now as it's all down to Azur, who needs to rotate back up. He's going to get hit by... Is there another one? Go on, let there be another one. Robbie's in position, waiting, and here we go! Gets the third, and Robbie should remove him. Team 82 win round 6.
Not only did they win round 6, the way they done that, right. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yes, there's a division, right? This is a tier 4 team competing here. That call to go, we've got an opening to walk straight in the pit, walk straight in. We saw the conga line, you see Replay getting success from that pressure. Huge decision and a great snap call out from the IGL to get them that control. That's a very well deserved round from them because it looked to be a scrappy one. They ran into problems getting control of Trophy as well as Master Bedroom with that breach. And they saw an opening, took it, they all committed to it. Very, very, very well done as he moved to that defense. And a 4-2 split. Considering the divide of competition here, that's actually quite good, with Oregon leaning historically towards the defense favoring side. So, 82, to the basement they go, and this is where we'll start seeing variations or different approaches to how these team philosophies work. I don't imagine 82 are going to have a significant roam presence, or that 4-man extended roam with a retake possibility. You're going to play a little bit more akin to what we've seen during the previous stage of competition inside of Tier 1 flights, where it's going to be a shield and elbow. We're going to play a little bit more default, because not once did TT9 even bring that elbow shield as a small example of differentiation between the sides' approaches and philosophies of this map.
Do you think Kenny ruined the fun for Tier 1? I think Kenny making that video about Capital and using that to clear just made Tier 1 go, nah, not done. Retire it.
If you're a member of a tier 1 organization that might be looking to improve and bolster your chances to compete inside of stage 2 or even the upcoming competitions like Combine, Kangaroo Kenny is looking for opportunities inside that. Go, get him.
Yeah. Big vote. Gunfight about to kick off here as Kanto almost gets caught cold, but the player is prone. Kanto hears it, and he'll say thank you very much. You can't do that against a player like Kanto. He hears everything. Eddie gets one onto Azur, though. 3 versus 4 as they retake top floor again. We spoke that we didn't expect too heavy of a roam, but I'm impressed here. Team 82 are doing this one really well. Drone's going to be thrown. Replay gets rid of it, denying that intel, and now Replay will just reposition himself and get ready to try some form of a flank. 2 minutes still to go, but that is an eternity.
They have so much time in this position, and this is where time begins to get a frustration point. While TT9 won't feel the pressure to make a move aggressively because they have that backlog of time, they could get into a false sense of security. But 82, man advantage, still a decent amount of roam. Okay, man advantage now gone, and the drone presence a little bit weaker as Noah's going to be able to find that and gets that, and that's going to be a huge problem. Now level, man advantage gone. You spoke at length about how advantageous that opening advantage or that man advantage is, especially for forcing the fight, forcing his executions. Not a lot of utility on the side of TT9. They're lacking really any grenades, any availability to clear his power positions, but Kendrew lurking in wait! And he gets himself traded! And that's a huge problem, because look at sight! It's completely cracked open!
Yeah, but the problem is that the res was instantaneous, so they've got the player back in. It's a 3 versus 1 now, leaving it all down to Noah. So Replay positions himself up on top of the boxes, but he's going to get shut down. Another player cleared out. Robbie's HP not looking good. Kiz with that shotgun. We know the impact that thing can have at range, but Noah is going to slam one. He's got himself in a 1 versus 1 now as he removes the camera. The player is inside of blue now. Noah stepping up. He needs to win this. Surely Team 82 don't lose another 1v3. The stun grenades are going to blind him, and TT9 win a third 1 versus 3 of the map. And you just can't give a player like Noah those 1v1s.
Noah, you are absolutely incredible. What a shot to open it up, and of course, we need an instant replay of that one. Kanto started us off, of course, in this moment with Kendrew. You gotta feel that was a linchpin. Great shot to Pillar, brings it a 1 versus 1, and he's got all the flashbangs in back pocket to collect Kriz just like that. 5 to the scoreline. Noah saves that round for TT9, but very well done by 82 to get themselves into so many advantageous positions. Credit where it's due.
Again, Team 82, they're doing some things really well. You know, they're very good at finding the entry pick. They're very good at identifying those 1v1s. Last time you and I spoke about a team like that, it was a team playing inside of South Korea called the Vega. Again, really good at isolating those opening entries.
Oh, that's... Okay, I was not expecting a La Vega reference today.
But you know what I mean? You think about when you've seen this before. Really good at getting the opening picks, but I think they kind of slow down, or they don't really do that next step to turn that man advantage into a round win. Think about how they do it in Brazil. Once you get a man advantage, you can get more aggressive because you can try to trade. If you trade, from that point you can trade your way to victory. Even if you don't trade out the kill, you're back to level standing. So it's kind of a win or neutral result once you get the numerical advantage if you just try to get aggressive and swing your way to victory.
Trade your way to victory is not, no, it's not something I've heard you say for a very, very long time.
You've missed it. You've missed it.
Oh, you made me all nostalgic, just like that, as Kendrew finds the opening as well. He's going to get himself instantaneously traded by Robbie. A good decision, and this is a roam that's more reminiscent of what we saw TT9 emerging with on their opening defenses. Replay cautious, feels a little bit of pressure arriving to their western side. Still has a great amount of control. Azure just cruises, breaking open a highway to get control upstairs, maneuvering around the map with great ease. No pressure arriving around him, at least. Kanto next to the form up that line. Do they have information that someone's going to be playing in Freezer? I imagine they'll at least consider a check. But that yellow ping upstairs means they've identified that threat inside of or inside of Attic. Can they rotate around? Well, a breaching charge will give him access to Pit. But Robbie gets one, and the Demon gets one more. He's find it, 2! Now it's all on a Kanto in a 1 versus 4. Gets the trade, revenges his 2 fallen teammates. Well, that might not be enough to save the round. 1 versus 3. Lots of time to begin to work it out, but do they go on the hunt now? At least one player is, and that's Pre-Fire around the doorway, has given away his location. He peeks out from the breach instead of walking, but not enough damage to find Kanto. A knife bait arriving, but a veteran like this might not fall for it. Spots ahead for a brief moment. The shots aren't quick enough to connect or land. Reads the rotate, but not good enough again on those Pre-Fires, and well, the shift key's been the curse of so many players. In moments like that, it'll fall to Kanto as well. And we see Team 82 get themselves 1 round back. And all that emerges from that huge 2k deep inside of Attic. Eddie the Demon, well, doing his namesake well, was an absolute demon. And found the fight against TT9. They get the 3rd round for 82.
Again, I'm really impressed by some of the movement by these Team 82 players again, because Kanto did not expect Alibi to get aggressive there and step up towards the sofa. Kanto didn't think it was going to happen. He was sprinting through the door to take on the fight in Master Bedroom, and Team 82 claw another round back. TT9 still winning 5-3. They're still in the driving seat here in Oregon, and if they win this next round, they go to match point. Now, if Team 82 win this next round, people are going to start to think, are we going to get an upset on our hands? But speaking of things that we're going to get on our hands, Noah,
where is this go? Okay.
Is going for the B man.
I was worried where you were going with that one for the moment. I was really scared where you were going.
Mate, I keep you on your toes. That is my job. But Kendrew brings Grim, and this will be the first time that I've got to see him in COP post that little buff that he got. Is he now viable? Well,
do you want the short answer or the no answer?
Well, you have two options, and one is no, and is the other no?
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
It's more useful, but again, it's still the idea that you listen, you're putting your gun away, and then you're peeking something where you're assuming someone is, just get a red ping. A drone can do that too. Azure can find Eddie the Demon and take him out of the fight very early. An aggressive peek, I think he tried to swing out from that T3 window to get aggressive. That's exactly what happened. He's going to pay the price for that one. Opening engagement goes to favor TT9. Man of Value sits with them as well. Not the move I would have made for 82's position. I think if they just play by the numbers here and they rely on the opening pick happening later on in the round, they could do a lot of damage. And Robbie takes some beating there as well as Kanto. They trade off some rounds back and forth. Not enough to leave either in DBNO or claim a kill. But still enough to at least make Kanto retreat for a brief second.
Yeah, Shalom still playing inside attic by Pit, just falling back now in towards bedroom as they wait to see where TT9 move next. Will reinforce off that rotate, but leaves half the wall soft, so you can still put some pressure on the attackers if they elect to push through attic. I'm not too annoyed by that move, but the push that is coming in now from TT9 seems to be focused on that master bedroom breach and then pushing in through trophy. Gunfight comes on through. Replay with the swing takes down Kendrew and regains a little bit more control. 4 versus 4 now as Sloth will deliver a nade, but I don't think it's going to go far enough through any real damage to Replay. But with that breach opening, he's going to swing again. Nothing wrong with a bit of aggression at that point, but once it opens and nobody's there, you reposition yourself on that study door where shotgun player is the bane of any entry's life.
Replay can play such an aggressive position as well, swing out wide and just threaten that shotgun. He reads that rotation to walk in perfectly and mounts his 12 gauge to find one to Kanto. Huge, but he's going to get himself traded. That threat of a shotgun now be neutralized with 3 versus 3, 50 seconds left, I should say. And they have to funnel through a very limited number of avenues. One player all the way towards Big Window acts that pressure relief valve, as has given them a pathway inside of Pit, and that might be the key to success. Noah just simply waltzes on in. Salam gets one to Azza, but Noah! Once again, lightning reactions, but not quick enough there to deal with a player inside of Kids. Robbie alone now, 20 seconds to work. Position neutralized, he's known. And Sloth has no nades to work with, but time to stick the case. And a long rotation all the way. This case goes down. Sloth has all the time in the world. He can hop straight out that window again and bait this and play this for time.
Yeah, look, he knows that Robbie has to push from this side of the map as well, as he heard the footsteps sprinting below him. So Robbie really has 3 different avenues now to push towards. You can go through attic, you can push through study door, or you can push through the breach. He pushes in through the door now, but Sloth's back in the corner holding the long angle, and Robbie is going to get shut down. And just like that, TT9 move to map point.
What a shot from Sloth there as well. In that chaos as well, Noah hit a monster of a reactionary flick as well to the player just by the bookcase top white. Huge moment there. And match point now for TT9. Let's not be like, I mean, look at this, right? Great moment from the shotgun. Could stick that again for the second one, but Noah, in that moment, huge reactions. Great reaction time again from Sloth to find that pixel peak. Get the job done. But let's not beat this around. This is so good from 82. They have got 3 rounds on Oregon against TT9, and they've put up a very good challenge. These have not been easy rounds. We've seen Kanto have a massive clutch up. We've seen Noah have a massive clutch up. We've seen another round there where Sloth had a win of 1 versus 1. Those 3 rounds go the other way. All of a sudden, you might see 82 level or even leading this. So a massive amount to take from this from their side. While they can't make playoffs, huge lessons learned. And I'll say it, this is why competitions like this are great, to have teams like this that, you know, in RCS they might never be able to get a scrim like this. But now they can learn from players like Noah, like Kendrew, like Kanto. Huge lessons to be taken from 82 from this.
Yeah, I think the funny thing is, in another world, this game could be 6-3 Team 82. 3 1 versus 3s they lost, and I think our producer has said they've actually lost a 1vx as well. So in reality, They could even be 7-1 up. But that's just the joys of playing against players of this caliber. Whenever they're down to one player, you still can't rule them out. So, we get ready for match point. Kendrew with the shotgun on Amaru. He's probably going to cook something up that involves either getting into attic or pushing in through that bedroom window.
He's going in small dorms. Listen, you know what in SILCQs we called him Chef Kendrew? Just to entertain Super's chat, he's cooking again. He's donned his big funny hat that you saw in the Ratatouille movie, and he's ready to go straight in this window upon the call of, well, anyone that makes an action. Kendrew's the head chef, the lion scan goes out, he sends it deep with the shotgun. Oh, he misses those shots in the kill feed. Reads out all orange for 82. An impressive gamble for TT9. Playing with their food, perhaps just a little bit, but A2 still win when it's asked upon them. A crossfire held with malicious intent. Robbie will get that collection on the sloth. Minute 50. Kanto has all the time in the world. Bearing 9 is out. Does he have a shotgun? No, I thought he was cooking. I thought he had the Japanese technology. But Eddie doesn't have the head anymore. Huge shot from Kanto. Moro with that one. Can he find any more? Still lots of time, and you just got a feel. You get the feeling he might be able to claw this one back.
To paraphrase the best caster in the world, man down, as Ian Chambers once said. So, Kanto in the 1 versus 4. Our producers,
you can't half quote it. You have to.
No.
Full quote it, Gibby. Full quote the Chambers right now.
I would never give the Chambers justice. As simple as that. He's more handsome than me. He's better caster than me. He's better host than me, and he's actually James Bond. So there's no way that I could possibly do that.
And we don't mean that like a fictional character. No, he is actually James Bond. Like the
international super spy Ian Chambers, or as he
says,
says
to it, doesn't it?
Ian from the radio.
So we've managed to waffle through your time. 30 seconds left, and well, perfect timing. 30 seconds. We wave goodbye to Kanto. He's no longer standing, as that's going to be the round going in favor of Team 82.
So we move to match point once more. Remember, Team 82 closing that gap if they win this next round.
No! You don't have to do them that dirty! But you did. So, production, not letting that recipe shine. A great shot from Kanto to wrap it up, but 82 get themselves in a position where they have one more lifeline in this one. So, that's nice.
Replay just telling him the shotgun's usually pretty good, but no, Kenny. That time, you spoke about a wind. There was a gale force breeze when he went to fire that first shot. Put him off.
I had the weather alert on my phone as well. This moment he went through that, I got caution. Gale winds across the UK. And that's why.
So we move on to, as we said, round 11 now. Remember, if this round is won by Team 82, we will guarantee every single round in regulation, which I'm sure a lot of people weren't expecting. But again, on mechanical
oh no, again. Yep, here we go. Just so we've went frame by frame analysis here. So that's where the wind hits. That's the gust of wind goes whoosh, and Kendrew's aim, his mouse flies across his room. Oh, that's even worse than frame by frame.
It was the confidence though, where you could see him turning to go deal with the next player, and he went, oh no, mistakes were made. So this is it. Match point again for TT9. They'll be looking to wrap this one up here now, but Shalom has different ideas. He gets the opening pick on Kanto. I've been really impressed by Replay and Shalom, by the way. Like, genuinely, mechanically, they're pretty damn good, and over time, provided they keep, you know, playing against talent like this and working and improving, there's definitely really good players in there.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is, they're taking these fights, they're reading them, getting into the right position to win them, and winning them when they need to take those direct fights. It's a huge boon of a good player to come. Sloth will pop up, find Replay in that trade, gets us back to a level standing. Defense down in the basement. At this stage, 4 versus 4, number advantages on your side, back to neutral. You've only really cleared the 2 nades of Azure. You can consider falling back and playing a more traditional bunker style lead, not set up the expansive roam. Shalom will find the elbow of Sloth and get him to around just under half HP. That's a massive threat for that Yana. Jaeger's weapon does hit pretty well, and information blocker denied. Shot out, so now they can finally begin to drone him out. The hatch is open, so he'll force Shalom further back by pipes. Still, a great hold and crossfires established from the side of 82. This could be a problem for TT9 to continue breaking this down. An angle held by Sloth deep, but no one's there. Azur's nade connects and finds it on the Kiz. And now you see this could be a problem.
Yeah, tosses the other nade, but Shalom's the other side of the wall. They do retake control inside of Closet, but that nade from Sloth's a good one. But now the trade's going to be attempted. Shalom finds it. 3 versus 2. Eddie the Demon manages to get that one, bringing us back to it. 2 versus 2. And Team 82 on the brink of pulling it back. Now, Eddie is a long way from home with the shotgun in his hand. So, in reality, it's a 1 versus 2 on site. But Kendrew is waiting. These two players not too far away. Shots coming through from Azur. That'll deal with Eddie the Demon, meaning it's all down to Shalom now. Match point. Can he stop TT9 from taking this win? 34 seconds to go. No drones. You look at that utility. It's all been removed. Actually, every single bit of utility that could be used by TT9 has done. So now they got to win this round with a barrel of their gun whip. But 18 seconds. Can Shalom do it?
We've been impressed by him so far. He tucks himself deep in the corner. We'll hear the footsteps just to his right. Patience is a virtue, and he holds on to the dying embers of this round. Waits to hear that case slam them on the ground. He knows it's a 1v1, and oh, Kendrew looks the wrong way. Shalom wins in the 1 versus 2. 11 goes in favor of Team 82, and you know what that means, Gibby? We are going to all 12 rounds of regulation. Who would have seen that one coming at the start of the day? TT9 beaten to the punch on that. They still have one more chance to claim it. But huge play. Waits for that case to go down and knows it's the perfect moment to strike. The Lion looks the wrong way with too many angles to check. And gets caught out with a swinging Jaeger in close proximity. Huge, huge from that.
I'm actually really impressed by Shalom there. Another player would have been tempted to swing whenever the player pushed through pillar into E-box, but no. The patience was there, and Shalom did a fantastic job. 6-5. Can they do it one more time to force overtime, or will TT9 wrap this one up in the final round of regulation? 5v5 tertiary site kitchen meeting. What is Chef Kendrew going to cook up this time for TT9?
Oh, what are you thinking? Are you thinking you go in sweet or savory for the recipe from Chef Kendrew?
Okay.
No, I'm asking you a question. Are we going sweet or savory for the?
It's Kendrew's always sweet, isn't he? What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you okay? Do you need help?
Do you want the actual answer or not?
If you think Whippet needs help, type
Let me out of the basement, please,
chats.
Gibby. Let me out, please. I need daylight. I can't just cast on loop.
Yes, you can. It's what you were born to do. You have one job, and you're okay at it sometimes. So
wow, wow. Oh, okay, okay. I said I'm breaking out of my prison. I'm breaking out of the Gibson casting prison.
The awkward moment when you break up and then open your eyes and realize it was just a dream and you're still there.
Oh, round number 12, TT9 still can't close out this. And 82 on the defense, they've had a great time. They've really shown how effective they are as a team. Now, tertiary site. On paper, Gibby, this is where we expect them to let it slip just a little bit. But they won a 1v2 just there to get themselves this one. They're going to be riding high from that one. You got to feel a bit of frustration for TT9 might set in as well. You see this going to overtime?
I do, actually. I'm actually really impressed by Team 82. And again, nothing really to lose in this fight. So, Azur, that nade was supposed to get the castle. And now he's going to use another one. Both nades gone. And the funny thing is, he's Sledge. He's the one operator who can just walk up and get rid of
Oh,
any
what a
the
shot.
demon. Gets rid of Sloth with an absolutely beautiful shot from way downtown. Peeking through the breach. Now Kenny will try to stun push his way through. Kanto peeking towards the long angle. Robbie's going to just peek from above. Gets rid of that air jab. Kanto and Noah combined for 2. Kendrew's going to go DBNO, but Noah finds the kill to make it a 4 versus 2. Now 3v2 of active players. Kiz gets that one as Replay begins to get aggressive now. He pushes up close towards that table. Replay swings, gets decapitated for it by Kanto, leaving it all down to Kiz now. Kiz one taps Azur, sends him to the Shadow Realm, and peeks down towards long. 44 seconds to go. It's a 2v1. Can Team 82 flip the script?
Surely not again. Another 1 versus 3. This will be a calamity for TT9 if they let this one slip. They decided the decision to hunt the kill, and Noah finds it. TT9 pushed all the way to 12 rounds. We'll wrap it up in that round. And well, Team 82 take a bow, making an EUL side go the distance and stretch their legs in an impressive fashion as well. And that could have been a much closer affair. Overtime could have been calling a few 1vx went the other way. But you're back to us now. Jump scare, the Irish casters are back.
And it's not even all of us. We've still got Arya to come back, and Tom's honorary Irish now too. Remember, this is the Irish takeover of Talent League. But that game was a really fun one to watch because, again, you saw TT9 winning a lot of 1vx's that they really had no right to win. But all in all, for the T4 side, for Team 82, that was just a really good performance. Mechanically, they were fantastic.
Yeah, they were able to take those gunfights and get themselves in the right position. I mean, for a team like 82, it's unfortunate you lose, right? But you've just got a scrim against TT9. You're able to emulate an official in that position, or at least get the TT9 to emulate that official game status. And it went all the way to regulation. Huge lessons to be learned, and there's a lot of 1vx's that could have turned the tide the other way. But we've been speaking for the last insert however long that game was. I think it's time to bring our wonderful desk back.
Well, we're back with me and Arya. And we're back with Arya and me. Welcome back, everyone, as we take a look at some of these replays. Arya, as our analyst, do you want to take us through some of these plays that you're seeing on your screen at the moment?
Yeah, so as we see on your screen there now, you have the clip where the Mozzie went absolutely huge, got the double kill, and honestly, off the back of the lack of droning, they just weren't aware of the Mozzie's positioning, and he was just able to kind of lurk around in the corner of his classroom, and he's just able to sit there. As we saw the Solus, and the Solus just showing absolutely why the Solus is such a good operator, and just why she's banned so often. In T4 play, we do see her banned quite often as teams don't exactly know how to play against her, but in those situations, the Solus absolutely shown her dividends, and it really worked for the side of TT9. And overall, we've got to give a massive credit here to Team 82. They had an absolute show for us. The show that they performed, it's something we didn't expect, Tom. Realistically, no one expected Team 82 to go this far against such, a high stature team. But they brought it full regulation, as the amazing casters, I should say, told us.
And I mean, yeah, you've alluded to it there, and Gibson did as well. The fact that this went almost to overtime, and we saw TT9 win 3 1v3s in that. In round 2, we had Kendrew with a 1 versus 3. Round 5, Kanto with a 1 versus 3. And then in round 7, my son, the GOAT himself, the Gunner Supreme, Noah, with a 1v3 as well. And if you take that, if you swing those rounds the other way around, then Team 82 could have walked away with the win here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was so many close situations in 1vx's, as was mentioned, that should have just walked into Team 82's standings. They just didn't. There was mistakes that were made, and when you're against such a high stature team and you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile, and that's just exactly how this game went. So I think production has a clip here that I'd like to actually show on stream just for a second, if we can get that up here. So as we can see, the Mozzie of Slot just sitting in the corner, just in the corner of the room. A lack of drones. As we can see on your UI, all of the drones have been destroyed. And the Iona Prismas, or not Prismas I should say, the Geminis just were not used. And that was a double kill coming off the back of just what seems to be poor droning coming out from Team A2.
I mean,
in those kind of...
Sorry, carry on. Sorry, carry on, go ahead.
Sorry, Dom. In just those instances, just that lack of droning, and plus you have the Solus on the board, the drones just weren't there, and it's kind of surprising to why the Geminis weren't used either.
I mean, we saw a lot of the use of the observation blockers as well. This is the first time I've sort of been involved in any competitive siege with the observation blockers included as well. And I mean, that's just going to deny so much intel. When you've got that Solus as well, with that drone, you're having to push it through there as well to see what's on site. And as you mentioned there, all the drones gone, 2 minutes in the round. They're going in blind. They're having to face check every single corner, and Sloth sneaks through and gets a nice, easy double kill there.
Yeah, and we have to give credit. Sloth just able to elude in the corners and just read into what the side of Team 82 were doing. And it's kind of also a bit of a lack of the Gemini clones, but unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles in games. And unfortunately, you can't roll back time. Things happened, but in terms of Team 82, they can watch this VOD back, kind of look through the mistakes they made, and coming this close against the T1 team, there's it's just amazing to see from T4 talent, and it just shows how good some of the T4 talent really is.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. As we say, Siege isn't a game played on paper. Before this game, I think everyone thought TT9 were going to walk this one. But Team 82, they've done themselves proud massively. They've almost taken it to overtime. They've thrown a few 1vXs as well. But as you mentioned, they're going to learn so much from this. And hopefully we'll just see them go from strength to strength after this as well.
Yeah, so I reckon we're seeing Team 82 at their kind of weakest point. Just give them literally a couple more months, put them against some more T1 talent. I reckon we have a good team on our hands here, Tom.
Perfect. And I don't know are we going back to Whippet and Gibson as well? Are they joining us to sign us off? Perfect. So we're joined back by our wonderful casters. We're joined, I believe it was one Irishman once said, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over, didn't he? And that's what we're here to do, aren't we, guys?
We've taken you as an honorary Irish now, Tom. You got our branding tattooed to you. So you may as well
I can show
Irish.
you if you like as well with it. If I'm allowed to get a fly out. I did say I wouldn't, but there we go. Look, the honorary Irish on the leg. There we go.
Oh, it wouldn't be a Tommy stream without him getting up on his chair at least once.
Very true. No, but boys, fantastic game, and I have to say, brilliant hearing you guys cast live as well, because I only ever get to watch it from my office or on my phone. So wonderful to be in there, hearing you guys just take us through what was actually a lot closer game than what we expected.
Look, you say that you love to hear me on your phone, but you've never given me your number, Tom. Come on. Come on. No, honestly, it was good to get back, if we're being honest. It's been a while. We had an extended break there, some things going on, so it was good to get back casting. And again, one of the things that I'm always been in love with is grassroots Siege and players that are coming up and seeing how teams that are at T4, at T3 are adapting and growing to find out who that next player is going to be. And to step in and see a team take a tier 1 team all the way to full, all the way to match point, full match point was impressive. Again, a couple of things that they can work on, but all in all, it was a fun game to watch. It was Oregon, and it was T4, as Whippet said, and it was a shootout. So I'm all for it.
And yeah, you mentioned it was a shootout, and it was a bloody entertaining one as well. Like, when you look at some of those clutches as well, I think that's sort of the difference between the two teams. When you see these T1 teams, you've got a multitude of gunners in your side, haven't you? And you leave them in those clutch situations, and they manage to clutch up. And that's exactly what we've seen in this game, really. But guys, is there any final words you want to say? We'll go to Arya first.
Yeah, just congratulations, Team 82. You played absolutely amazing, and that definitely went past everyone's expectations. And I reckon they have a very good future ahead of them.
I hope so as well. Whippet, anything you want to leave us with, fella?
I'll echo that as well. Hold your heads up high for Team 82. You talk TT9 all the way down to regulation. There's more competition in this offseason that you can play in, so there's more time to grow. And for every other team, of course, it's met a Tier 1 competition, the Titan Series. Only take it in your stride and learn from those lessons, as you can only get better from that defeat.
And Gibbo?
Just echoing what Whippet said. And finally, I heard, Tom, that you have a massive hat. And that's all we're going to say.
Are we not going to get the chant in there? You sure you don't want to slip that chant in there?
I'm a professional. I'm a professional.
Yeah,
I can't do it on broadcast. But everyone knows the rest of the song.
Yeah, well, they do. We might see that in chat. But Whippet, Alia, Gibson, and our production team and observers, thank you very much for today. And everyone in chat, I hope you enjoyed the games. It was a lot close, as we said, and a bit of a banger of a game. But thank you so much for joining us today. There's plenty more Titan series coming up over the next few weeks as well. So make sure you get around it and get amongst it. Have a lovely rest of your evening, and thank you very much for joining us today. And I'm sure we'll see you soon. Thank you very much, everyone. Cheerio.